everyone, happy Friday. My name is Becca and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm here with another weekly reading update. Let's get into it. I love doing these on Fridays. I found that Fridays are actually the perfect day to do these, so now that I said that though, I'm probably gonna skip a Friday and it's going to screw up everything. But I'm gonna try and get these out on Fridays, and I've been doing pretty good for the last few weeks, so we'll see how this goes. So last week I told you I was currently reading a few books. I have since finished Blitz by Alexa Martin. This is the third in this series. First was Intercepted, then Fumbled, and then Blitz. It's a football romance. This one we follow Maxwell and Bryn. Maxwell is see, I don't follow sports at all, so I can't exactly remember, but he does, he is a professional football player on the Denver Mustangs, maybe, possibly, Denver Mustangs. The whole series follows, teammates from that, team, and this one follows Maxwell Lewis. Don't ask me what position he plays, because I can't remember anything. If he's not a quarterback, I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't like sports. I like sports romances, but I can't remember anything. And I don't think it says. Of course it doesn't. Okay. Bryn is, she owns an establishment. It's like a bar/restaurant. It's called Hers, and it's where all the teammates and their wives or girlfriends like to go and hang out. And Maxwell starts to fall for Bryn, and Bryn falls for Maxwell. It's this whole thing. They've been crushing each other for years, and now we're present day, and we're finally getting to see them actually start to get in a relationship, which is, I've been waiting for it. I talked about this before in my last update, so it's really is just their romance and what they're going through, and it's about football. And I enjoyed this. Oh, what did I see? Now I have to consult Goodreads. And hey, this time my iPad is actually charged instead of last time when I tried to bring it out and it was dead. I want to say I gave this 4 stars. Yes, I gave this 4 stars. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've read it, so now I'm trying to remember what the ending was, because I did say that a lot of people enjoyed it up until the ending, which I think it was the whole plot twist with Maxwell and like his brother and stuff like that. If that's what it was, I thought it was fine. I didn't really take offense to it or anything like that, or I didn't hate it by any means. I gave this 4 stars. I enjoyed this. I think I've given all of the books in the series 4 stars. They've never been outstanding, but they have been decent and enjoyable and fun to read, so yeah, 4 stars. Okay, I also mentioned that, what was I reading? I was listening/reading Starless C by Erin Morgenstern. Okay, I've explained this on my last update, so I'm not going to try and explain it again because it is so difficult to explain. But it is, in a sense, a book within a book. And there are chapters that we follow our main character, Zachary, and other where he finds the book and his adventures and journey. And then other chapters where we actually get chapters from that book. So let's see if I can actually turn to a page that... No, of course not. So yeah. Those will be like chapters from the book, and then it's sort of different when we follow Zachary. And there's multiple books that are referenced in here that you get chapters from, which is really good. And there's a lot of stories. There's so many stories, and I love that. I think my favorite parts from the books were the stories. And I thought Zachary was a really good character. I really enjoyed the characters, and there was a romance, which I did not see coming, and I loved. And I did listen to this on audiobook, and okay, I don't know if it was just me, but I'm listening to an audiobook from Scribd, and there were times in like a certain, like any chapter, I'd be listening to it, and then it like cut off, it'd still be going. And then it'd come back and it'd be like the next paragraph or something. So like it would just mute itself, but it'd still go. And I'm just like, so if I'm in my car or something and I don't have the book with me, I don't know what's going on. And I miss, just a few sentences, but I'm still missing like information. And I hate it when they actually start to talk and I have no idea what they're saying. So there was that. That made it less enjoyable. So I did end up reading like the last 50 to 100 pages or so, just reading it instead of listening to it. I did enjoy the audiobook. It is a full cast narration, so you'll get a narrator for Zachary's chapters, and then there'll be different narrators for like the stories and that kind of stuff, and I really enjoyed that. I will say that it was 5 stars. Like, it was 5 stars up until about 75% in, and then it lost me, and it was 4 stars. So yeah, ultimately I ended up giving this 4 stars. I did really, really love it up until the 75% mark, where I'm just like, what? What's happening? Wait, what? And then the ending, I don't know if I was really satisfied with that ending. Like, okay, in my mind I was like, there has to be a second book, right? If there's a second book, this book is great, everything's fine. But if there's not, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, massively disappointed. And I kind of looked it up, and I didn't see there was a sequel at all. Like, it's not a first in the series or anything, from what I can gather. So I'm just like, that's it? I'm really kind of hoping there's a spinoff or something that, like, give me more information. It's kind of open-ended in a way. Not entirely, but certain aspects of it is open-ended, and I'm just like, that's not fair. Like, that's not what I... Look, for me, I don't like open endings. I really don't. I understand a lot of people do, and that's great. It's not for me. I want everything to be just crystal clear. So I was kind of upset that some of the storylines that I was following didn't add up to in my mind. So it was 4 stars. It was so great. I still really enjoyed it. And I would probably reread it at another date, just because I feel like I get more out of it from rereading it. And who knows, maybe that'll be 5-star worthy. But with this read, it's a 4-star. It's still really good. It's still really enjoyable, and I still really loved it. So it's just that ending. And I'm like 3/4 in. I'm just like, what? So, yeah. But still really great. Alright, and then the last book I told you last week that I was reading was Archangel Storm by Nalini Singh. I have since finished this one as well. I finished quite a bit, guys. This is number 5. Yeah, number 5 in the Guild Hunter series. And this one we followed Jason. And Jason is Raphael's spymaster. And we learn in this book that Neha, who's an archangel from India, her consort has just died, and Raphael is sending Jason to find out what has happened and who murdered him, because it has to be someone within Neha's court, and Jason, being an outsider from that court, would be able to find that information out better than Neha or anybody like that. And so in order to be allowed in the court, he has to do a blood vow. He has to tie himself to Neha's bloodline through the princess, her niece, Mihia, who is in a sense a prisoner there because Neha is... It's a whole backstory and it's all crazy, but Neha hates Mihia, and Mihia is not... I love Mihia. I feel awful for her, but she's living in this prison and she's being tormented and tortured quite regularly. So it was hard to read through that. And Jason's backstory is just so heartbreaking, and it's just, the both of them are just so heartbreaking. Their romance is so beautiful. It's kind of a slow burn at first, and it's so subtle, and it's not until the end where you really get how much they love each other, and oh my god. I really love this. I gave it 4 stars. It's a lot of 4 stars. I've just noticed that. It's a lot of 4-star reads. But yeah, I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's not Raphael and Elena worthy to me. I think the only book I've given 5 stars is the first book. I think. I might be wrong about that, but I still really love Jason Mejia. I got to see more Raphael and Elena in this book. I got to see more Dimitri and Honor in this book. So it's great. I really loved it. There's some surprising plot twists in this that I really enjoyed as well. And I can't wait to pick up the next book. Okay. Then the other book I finished, which we'll talk about. To be honest, okay. So Smudathon happened last month. Was it this month? I can't remember. But Smudathon just recently happened. And I was watching, because there were months where I didn't watch BookTube. I was watching Friends. If you remember that I was obsessed with that, that happened. So I didn't watch BookTube for months. And I finally ended up coming back and having a whole backlist of videos to watch. I'm still trying to catch up. Still. It's insane. I think I've been trying to catch up since the end of November. Maybe before that. I don't know. But I'm watching Smudathon TBRs, and this was on, I want to say Chelsea, from Chelsea Darling Reads Smudathon TBR, but maybe not. I can't remember. But it's a Jessica Cain book, okay? And I read a Jessica Cain book earlier in the month, and I thought it was decent. It was okay. So I saw this one, and I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And it's Sacrifice to the Beast, right? Yeah, by Jessica Cain. And this book, okay, so it's set in modern day, which I didn't know going in until I started reading it, and I was like, really? I think that's what really threw me off this book, other than, like, the whole plot and everything like that. So, it's set in modern day, and we're in this village, and we have our main character. Don't ask me what her name is, because I don't know if it even says. No. Great. Oh, wait. Diana. Now I remember. Her name is Diana, and she lives in this village, and this village is being tormented by a monster. Okay, by a beast. Okay. And they decide that the only way to stop this beast from tormenting them is to sacrifice her. Of course. So they take her in the woods, tie her up to a tree, and leave her there. This is set in modern day. Okay. So then the beast comes to find her, and it's just like, what the hell's going on? Why is she tied up to a tree, and why is she in the woods? What's going on? And of course, he's automatically attracted to her. Of course. And you find out he's not a beast, and he's not tormenting the village. That's something else. It's just crazy. There's a lot of smut. Goes straight into that. And it's a really short read. I think if this wasn't set in modern day, I think if this was set in like a fantastical world, or, you know, somewhere far, far in the past, I might have enjoyed it just a little bit more. But having it set in modern day just really disturbed me. It was still kind of good. I think I gave it 3 stars. No, I gave it 2 stars, maybe 2.5. But it was really weird. It was what it was. It wasn't necessarily enjoyable, but it wasn't completely awful. It was somewhere in the middle there. It's so weird. Again, it was kind of disturbing, somewhere in a good way. Like, I thought some of the smut was okay. I thought her reactions were okay. I mean, for a modern day girl, they were okay. I don't know if I'm really explaining this well. All I can say is if you really, really want to read this, look this up first. And just be aware that it is set in modern day, so it is really, really weird. But yeah, I gave that 2 stars. Maybe 2.5. I would never read it again. And I got that from Kindle Unlimited, so I didn't spend any money on it. But I don't necessarily recommend it either. Okay. So yeah, finished that book. That only took like maybe an hour, hour and a half to read, because it's really short. So, and I just wanted something to read on my phone, and I was seeing that on Subathon, that's why I picked it up. So yeah, don't really recommend unless like you're really, really wanting to like see it for yourself. If you have Kindle Unlimited because you're not paying for it, I mean, you're paying for your subscription, but you're not paying for that book individually. Yeah, maybe, okay, if you really want to pick it up, but if you have to pay for it, I don't recommend that at all. Okay, last book I finished, and when I say finished, I mean I just finished it like 20 minutes ago. Holy God, this book hurt me. This book broke me, but this book was so damn good. That's Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Why have I waited this long to read it? Oh, I know why. I did not like his adult work. Or at least I didn't like what I read of his adult work. I only read like 100 to 200 pages of one book, and I just did not like that. I didn't find it for me. This is a young adult one from him, and I have to say I loved it. There's no romance in this at all. Maybe there's like a hint of it somewhere, but no, there's nothing. And this one is about Spencer, who, how do I explain this? She, oh God, oh man. So Spencer has known pretty much all her life that her father was deemed a coward. So her father was a pilot for a starflight, because on this planet, you know, this is sci-fi, it's set in space, they're on a planet, they're humans, but they were brought to this planet. So her father was a pilot for Starflight, and during like the greatest battle they had, he ran. At least that's the story they're telling you. So they deemed him a coward, and they deem Spencer, what is it? Not a coward, but she's the daughter of a coward, and so they want nothing to do with her. That's the story they're telling you. You'll find later on the actual reason for why they don't want her, which becomes understandable, but. So, all her life, Spencer's has been treated horribly, ever since her father died, and, you know, he ran from the fight and died. He was shot down. So, ever since that, Spencer's been treated horribly. She's only ever wanted to become a pilot for Starflight. She's only ever wanted to follow in her father's footsteps, at least in that sense. And they don't want her. They want nothing to do with her. They, you know, they deny her at every turn. Until her father's former her father's former wingmate, who is a teacher at the school. He teaches the cadets. He bends the rules, and he lets her in, at least to be taught, at least to be in the school. There's still a lot of things that she has to fight for, a lot of things that she's being denied, which just hurt me, and it kills me. Oh my God. I don't know what I can say that's not deemed a spoiler, or, but Spencer is part of this class, and she's part of this flight, or part of this team the Skyward team. And it's a ride. Oh, it's a ride. It's a roller coaster ride. It's such a quick and easy read. Like, I swear I could be reading for like 30 minutes and have already read 50 pages. It's so quick. It's so action-packed. It's filled with like information, but it's not like info dumpy. It's just being told to you throughout, but in kind of a good way. Like you're learning things, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging it out. It's just, it's a really good pace for the story. I really like the characters. Don't get attached to some of the characters, because holy crap, did that just freaking destroy me. I loved this book. Like, okay, so it was a 4-star read, or maybe like a 4.5, up until the end, where the end just cinched it at 5 stars. Like, that ending, man. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been crying for a good, like, long while. I've just been crying so hard. It was so good. And the things you learn and the things you find out, it's just, it's so good. 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. When I thought I was going to hate it. So I have to say, because this is the final reading update for January, this is the final book that I finished for January. And I have to say that for the 2 books that I picked for my booktuber's favorite my favorite booktuber's favorite books of 2019, this was one of them, as well as Marriage for One, and they were both 5 stars. They were both 5 stars. So Skyward was Haley and Bookland's one of her favorite books, and Marriage for One was Jess from Peace Love Books, one of her favorite books, and I absolutely love them both. Like, and it's funny because I went into both of them kind of hesitant, and while I was reading them, I was like, okay, this is fine, like, they're probably going to be 4-star reads, and then, like, those endings, and it just became, like, everything to me. So they both became 5 stars. Didn't anticipate that happening, but it was amazing. So I picked out 2 more for February, so you'll see that in my February TBR, which I'll link down below for you guys. But I'm really hoping I could continue that streak. That would be amazing. Alright, so the only book that I'm technically currently reading, and that's because me and my friend have been buddy reading it, that is The Last Wish, which is like 0.5 in the Witcher series or something like that. This is from Andrzej Sapkowski, and I'm only on chapter 3, so I'm 80 pages in. So I was reading it like a chapter a day, and then I found out my friend was still in like chapter 1, so I've been holding off. I took like a few days break from it, but I'm probably going to read another story or another chapter tomorrow. Like, I'll start fresh February. So today's the last day of January, if you didn't know. So tomorrow is the first day of February, so I'll probably read a chapter of this tomorrow. So I'm trying to just read a chapter of that every day. We'll see. I'll find out where my friend's at, because I don't want to get too ahead of her, but it's also like, come on. But I get it. She's kind of in a reading slump, so I get it. We're trying to get her out of it by reading this. Maybe not the best choice. But, yeah, that's it. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again with another. See you next week. Bye. Happy reading.